guess we'll see.
Week 5, NFL, we lighten up the scene. Boys with the heat taking over every screen. Touchdowns, highlights, living out the dream. Pack the house, bring the noise, you know the team. It's week 5, stakes high, we making plays. Charles PR, chaos, and that guy heated up all day. Bills and Dolphins, clashing on sight. Allen throwing bombs, Tyreek taking flight. Niners rolling deep, Ayuk in the zone. Brock Purdy rising, taking QBs off the throne. Chiefs got Mahomes, Kelsey and Stride. But the Lions roaring loud, no room to hide. Week 5, NFL, we lighten up the scene. Boys with the heat taking over every screen. Touchdowns, highlights, living out the dream. Pack the house, bring the noise, you know the team. Jets and Broncos fighting to survive. Nick versus Rodgers, both need to thrive. Fields went off, can he keep that flame? Or will Commander shut down his game? Cowboys mean, Micah coming for throats. Brock steady calm, never gonna choke. Rams and Eagles, Hurts flying high. Philly bring the heat, they never shy. Week 5, NFL, we lighten up the scene. Boys with the heat taking over every screen. Touchdowns, highlights, living out the dream. Pack the house, bring the noise, you know the team. Fantasy's hot, PR's talking smack. Chaos with stats, keeping it on track. Charles breaking it down, sharp and clean. Boys with the heat. Week 5, NFL, we lighten up the scene. Boys with the heat taking over every screen. Touchdowns, highlights, living out.
That was beautiful. That was utter beautifulness.
That was another good one.
We try.
That was another good one.
What is it? His mixtape's dropping soon, y'all. Mixtape dropping soon.
One of the things that I want to do is I'm going to get a live stream. I'm just going to play Madden or I'll play college football, and I'll just have all of our background music songs playing in the background and watch TikTok try to shut it down, but they can't.
Like, is this copyright or not? I can't get it together.
There's only been one that was ever flagged for copyright, and that's only because it was I think it was the Angel Reese one, and I think I did the ski. Yeah, they flagged that for some reason. I don't know. Whatever.
I think that's Sexy Red or something like that.
Sexy Red, yeah. Unfortunately, I stole a little bit of line from that one, but
even though she's not that great, but that's neither here nor there.
No.
God bless you, young man.
Thank you. How was your football weekend, PR?
Fantasy football wise, terrible.
Nope. NFL wise,
the Chicago Bears.
I heard you guys are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I am sick and tired of these idiots. Listen, if you want to call me, I'm not a real Bears fan because I'm not enthusiastic and optimistic of making the Super Bowl. I'm like, listen, am I happy that we're winning games? Yes, but we're 2-2. Like,
with the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Like, calm down. Like you always say, talk to me after Thanksgiving. Then we can have a realistic conversation of where we're going. Now,
you could be a Lions fan. I just heard they're the #1 team in the NFL. Now riddle me this story. I'm just gonna
just sprinkle here and there.
I'm gonna sprinkle right up over it. They played the Buccaneers, who's a playoff team, right?
Yeah.
And they lost to a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play Seattle, who's not a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has them picked to be a playoff team. In fact, Seattle has beaten Detroit for some reason the last 6 years, right?
Well,
like Detroit has not beaten Seattle in the last 6 years.
Arguably, Seattle's in first place, so as of right now, they are a playoff team.
Okay, yeah, but when you play the worst team in the league, the third worst team in the league, and the fourth worst team in the league, and you're the sixth worst team in the league, you should beat them, right? Like, you're not the worst team, you're the sixth worst team in the league. And that's Seattle's schedule so far before the Lions. Seattle's the sixth worst team in the league, and they've played the worst teams in the league so far, because Carolina's winning now too. So we got to throw that in there. That's fantastic.
You can only beat the teams that are on your schedule. NFL, anybody can beat anybody.
Yes, but you lose to a playoff team and you beat a non-playoff team. Where does that equal Super Bowl?
Well, this is the Lions. That's the whole reason why we had the confidence to make that bet about the tattoo, Charles. The same
Indubitably. And watching Dan Campbell make that stupid move on 3rd and 13, I know he's going to. Oh, but they still won the game. It doesn't matter. You beat a non-playoff team. Make that same boneheaded fucking move against a playoff team, and you're out. And there it is again. It's the writing on the fucking wall. If it's not the head coach, it's Jared Goff. Oh, Jared Goff played great this game. It was the Seattle Seahawks. They'll be lucky to have 6 wins all year.
Do you think he's gone next year?
What?
Yes.
Their offensive
You're
coordinator.
saying, wait, Patrick, we're not just going to just walk past what Mr. Charles said. You're saying that in 2024-2025 season, in this football season that we're in, they're only going to win 3 more games.
The Seattle Seahawks?
Oh, I thought you meant the Lions.
No,
Yeah,
he was
no,
talking
God,
about
no.
Oh,
No, the Lions are a good. Yeah, the Lions are a good. No, the Lions are a good team.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah. No, that's the Green Bay Packer fan in me. You ain't winning another fucking game.
All right, never mind. I retract my anger and I put it back down.
Flip a coin. You got it.
So I'm not saying that Seattle is that great. I'm not saying Seattle is one of the top teams in the NFC. Like, I'm not jumping off that bridge. Like,
You think they're better than Tampa Bay?
No.
Then why did the Detroit Lions vault from 7 in the power rankings to number 1? Because Jared Goff threw 18 passes?
Listen.
We went 18 for 18. 2 games ago, he threw 2 interceptions and had a fumble. Miss me with that shit. He's the best quarterback in the NFC. Miss me. No, he's not.
I'm like, at this point, Sam Darnold is the best quarterback in the NFC North as of right now.
Yeah. Statistically, yeah.
Not saying that he's better than Jordan Love or Jared Goff, but right now, after 4 weeks,
He's not even in the same book as the top 6 quarterbacks in the NFL, and I'm sick of hearing it. He was terrible with the Rams.
I hear you.
So he is no better than Brock Purdy. Jared Goff is no better than, and I think Brock Purdy is better than Jared Goff. This is not the Packer fan in me.
That's not a hot take. Brock Purdy is definitely better than Jared.
Yeah, but until he wins Super Bowl, he won't be considered as.
Neither one of those two have won a fucking Super Bowl.
And they both been to one, so that conversation can't even hold that weight in
Arguably,
itself.
Purdy got them to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff just had a free fucking ticket and then fucked with the driver when he got there and ruined the whole thing for everyone else.
The whole team sucked that game. It wasn't just him. The running game was terrible. The offensive line was terrible.
The very next year, with the only different piece being Matt Stafford, they go and win it all. I don't know. I'm on the opposite side of it.
They went out and spent some money. They
definitely spent some money.
They picked up what's his face.
Von Miller.
They got the receiver too. They caught it. Was the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Cooper Kupp and even
Odell
Beckham was until he tore his ACL halfway through the Super Bowl game.
Charles. I'm saying they went out and sold.
Whatever. There's no way anyone could tell me I'm wrong. Jared Goff is a terrible quarterback. Statistically, that's sweet. We're talking about the regular season. That's fan-fucking-tastic. What does he do in the playoffs? The same thing Lamar Jackson does. Trash. So if you want to be hyped and overhyped about a regular season quarterback, I won't get in your way. But my NFL team, we're about the playoffs. We're about winning Super Bowls.
There's this thing going around, right? Everybody wants to speculate and talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Then we want to talk about greatness and eliteness and all these great quarterbacks.
One of the luckiest.
And I was going to say, so is he not the luckiest quarterback this year? They should be
absolutely.
He's getting the Tom Brady treatment, but we see that every decade. We see that every.
The NFL's got to take care of their freaking money.
He should no doubtably be at the worst 0-4, at the best 1-3.
Yeah.
I
can agree with that. But they did get bailed out 3 times. That's not saying they were going to lose those games, but yeah.
I was going to say 500. I would be comfortable with them at 5. But honestly,
nobody really cares that they're.
Who fucking cares? They started the season last year 0-3 and won the fucking Super Bowl.
I'm like, you are not lying. That was an actual fact.
And Miami started Miami has not. Miami hasn't fucking led in any point of the game. This year. Not one fucking second. Their only win was a field goal at the end of a game.
So bringing up Miami, did we underestimate? I'm not saying that Tua is a great quarterback. Like he's not. I'm not saying he's top 5. However, for that system, did we underestimate the value of what Tua is to Miami?
No. And here's the thing. Your casual everyday fan might think that. But we never question his ability, just like I've never questioned Jaden Daniels' ability to play football. Okay, what we do on this show is talk about the entirety of the person. And what we have focused on, specifically, what we have focused on this show is his health and well-being. Now, there was a portion where I did make a case to try and get others to understand the mindset. You are not walking away from $150 million. I don't give a fuck what is going on. I don't care if your legs aren't working like Christian McCaffrey. I don't care if your head isn't working like Tua Tagovailoa. I don't care who you are out there on the other side of this or what you have or what you think. You're not walking away from $150 million. That's life-changing. I don't give a fuck if I'm in a wheelchair 10 years from now. My kids are taken care of forever, and their kids are taken care of forever.
For $2 million, your kids are taken care
For
of.
$2 million. We're talking $150 million.
I get that, but at some point, money don't fucking mean shit if you can't walk anymore.
Yes, I just explained how it does.
Charles, you tell that to the freaking guys that were pissing in the refrigerator and stuff at night.
How are their families doing?
Yeah, I don't know how their families are
doing. Their families are doing great. They're well taken care of. That's my point. No, these people will gladly make that sacrifice.
Me personally, I can't do that.
I can't.
Yes, you can. You did it for less.
I'm saying if
you joined the military.
Listen, but if I'm in Tua's shoes, if it's worth risking my life for 150, or I can walk away for 95, I'm walking away with 95.
Okay, so I risked my life for a life insurance policy for less than $475,000, knowing my family would not be taken care of for the rest of their lives.
You can't. You don't compare football with that.
What is the difference in that scenario? It's black and white. What is the difference?
What's going to happen with the NFL? You didn't know what was going to happen in the military.
I mean,
with
the
football,
variables are
we know if you get
different
smacked around in the head, we kind of know what's going to happen to you.
For anyone out there, you fact check me all you want, but when you're combat arms, you don't get on the plane expecting to come home.
Hell, you deploy, you don't expect to come back.
That's a guarantee. And while I bring this up, and why I bring this up, is because maybe that might be a little bit of the mindset. But I understand where these individuals are coming from. Are you kidding me? This is generational wealth.
I hear you, but
they
so is $95 million.
People already have it. Yeah,
$95 million is generational wealth.
He's worth
$150 million.
And he's already worth $100 million. He can't even spend that money in his lifetime or his kid's lifetime. So at what point does it even matter?
I can't wait to hear the listeners on this, because for me, there is no question. I sacrificed the end of my lifetime, that 20-year window, so generations of my family are taken care of. That's a no fucking brainer.
At some point, they're going to piss it away. It never gets generated.
I don't care. They got the opportunity. No, that is not how you do good. Like, I don't walk through life going, oh, should I help this person or are they going to piss it away? I help you because I do good. I don't give a fuck what you do.
I can still help my family with $95 million.
Yeah, I don't.
And I'm still able to be in their kids' life mentally. I'd rather be in my kids' life mentally and $95 million than mentally be unstable. And at least they got money.
Yeah,
that's not worth it to me.
I don't ever there being one player,
right, because when you're dead, they could take care of themselves.
I think all of them will say yes. I walked away knowing that I did what I did, but I walked away knowing
when you're dead, they could just take care of themselves.
But at least I can live longer.
Yeah, then when you die, they can take care of themselves.
I'm still taking the chance of
I understand
95.
that.
But that's just me.
As I said, I'm excited to hear what some of our listeners have to say, because I'm not walking away from generational wealth. You put me in a wheelchair for 10 years, and then
if this is a rookie, everything you're saying makes sense. These guys have been in the league for 8-9 years. Now it makes sense. If your life is in danger, yes, you get out.
Okay, yeah. If they lived their lives putting every penny in the bank at this moment, and when the injury happened, and they were prepared for it, and they could successfully stop all that other stuff, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think both of the players that we're thinking of probably have enough money.
Christian McCaffrey comes from money.
Yeah,
he's got generational wealth.
But as a rookie, I totally 1,000%.
A rookie isn't going to have a $150 million contract to look at.
No, it makes sense to sacrifice.
If he plays to sacrifice to get that big contract, yes, 100%. I agree with you. Like he has to get to that point.
This is literally who we are talking about right now.
Tua is not in that situation though. He has money.
He just got his big contract.
I understand that, but if he medically gets retired, he gets $95 million out of that 150.
If he's medically retired, we're not talking
because he's choosing not to want to listen to his doctor.
No. If the doctors tell him he needs to retire, he's retired. What we're talking about specifically is you have the green flag to play. All 57 million doctors you talked to looked at you dead in the eyes and told you were okay. And now you're going to choose to walk away from the 150 million.
Well, you're not. No, we're talking about.
No,
even if that is the case,
Patrick, that is the case. Because if he's medically retired, he gets his guaranteed contract. If he walks away, he doesn't get his guaranteed money.
We're talking about,
and I would be okay with that.
Retire because they should be medically.
You have to add context to that. If they're medically retired and the doctors are telling to retire, that's a completely different conversation.
I'm saying if he's medically cleared to retire and be like, hey, it's time for you to hang it up.
Get the fuck out. Because you're going to have all that guaranteed money. He's still going to have the 142 million.
And this is the thing. Even on the other side of that token.
And by the way, you only need one doctor. With the amount of money, you can get any doctor.
This is the thing.
I don't disagree with you there, Patrick. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like you said, if it's about money, he ain't going to let a doctor tell him.
I am not risking it for $150 million. This is Paul speaking, not anybody else.
It's personally, yes, but
personally, me,
I'm not. Millions of guys are going to say the other thing. They're going to say,
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, Charles. I 100% agree that there's probably 99.9% players, if they're not telling them to force them out of the game, they're going to keep playing regardless. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying if it was me in that shoe, and I've experienced what Tua's experienced in the last year and a half, I can't put myself through that anymore.
Here's the problem. Doesn't the CTE thing, the testing, it doesn't even show up until
after you're
later?
dead.
Yeah. And I've had questions about that too. Personally, I'm wondering how people are telling this individual there's nothing to see when there won't be anything to see until you die.
Right.
Like, I don't know how.
And that's been documented everywhere.
But at the same time, I deal with an unseen demon every day in PTSD. So I get it. I get combating the unseen things. And it's how I feel about it from the outside looking in, personally, is that it's super easy when you don't have it to say you would walk away from it.
You're right.
And I think arguably that's where we're at. You're talking about a situation where your kids' kids are taken care of. No matter what your kids decide to do and fuck off, and no matter what your kids decide to do and fuck off with the money, your kids' kids are still taken care of.
But even on that note, even though this is his first big contract since he got to the league.
Yeah, because trust me, if we Google it, he's made millions.
Right.
He should be fine.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's to say, hopefully, you're hoping that these players that are intelligent because they went to school, all this jazz, that they're investing their money properly. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But we don't know because we're not in their books. We're not in their circle. We don't know what they're doing with their money on a year in, year out. But we're hoping that they're investing and making their money make money while if something of this magnitude does happen, that they can walk away and they are fine financially for their kids. It's just at one point as a human being, do you value your life over the money?
In that contextual statement, you value your life over money all the time. But there's more to it than that, I think. It's not just your life and money. It's your family. It's your legacy. It's
I hear you.
Everything you could have ever imagined as a child being taken care of, and all you have to do is sacrifice the last 15 years of your life. I think that's a no fucking brainer. That's 20, 30 years. I don't know, man. To me, it's...
This is an agree to disagree.
Yeah. Because
not in a disrespectful way. Because
of course not. Of course not.
Valid.
That's why we're dancing around it because we're trying really hard not to be disrespectful, and in no way are we meaning any disrespect at all. As I said, I'll be interested to see what the listeners have to say. Because I think the people with children probably have the ability to view it differently than I do. I can't see it from that lens. I can only see it from a hypothetical. And to me, it's easy. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I guess you're right because I have my child. I'm like, and I want to be able to mentally
be there for every
not just
single moment.
physically, but mentally. I want to be there for my child and not have those. Because like you and I, we have our PTSD.
Yeah,
It's different between you and I, but it's still the same monster, no matter how you look at it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, my child just had to see some of those moments growing up, and seeing that and envisioning what he's going through. Because again, my PTSD is different than yours, but going through the concussions and the brain damage that he's going through at 28 years old, 29 years old, we know this stuff just gets worse over time.
Yeah.
And it's just, but again, I see your point. I'm not disagreeing with your point.
No, and I'm not disagreeing with yours either.
It's valid. It's just me personally.
Yeah.
Money can't convince me to keep putting myself in that kind of harm.
Yeah.
Military or football.
Well, obviously, if it was that easy, like Charles and you and Paul, you guys are both making the point. If it was that easy, this would be a black and white issue, and there'd be a lot more people making that decision after they get a big contract.
Well,
obviously there isn't.
I think though, at looking to adding to your point, there might be more there than we think, because we're talking about it as if it's easy, no matter whose opinion you're no matter whose side you're on in this opinion.
Whether the easiest to stay or the easiest to go.
Right. But in our lifetime, they've always chosen to stay.
Always.
Unless they're told to retire, they always choose to stay.
If they're not getting forced out the game, they're going to keep playing.
It's a guarantee.
Even some of them, when they should be forced out, still stay. Aaron Rodgers. But
Aaron Rodgers, a lot of quarterbacks for some reason.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
This Jets Broncos game, are we over the Jets?
The Jets are not
over the Jets.
None of us have even been on the Jet, right?
Apparently, even Aaron Rodgers is over the Jets after his comment.
They are not as good as they think they want to be.
Oh, I don't think they're as good as they think they even.
Sean
can
Payton
be.
made enough coaching mistakes in that game to lose 3 times.
And
they still won.
Just sit on this. You lost to Bo Nix, and his total passing yards was 60.
Two-thirds through the game, he only had like
-7 or something.
Yeah,
like
-7 at halftime, but I think it took him until like midway through the third quarter before he even had positive passing yards.
You lost 10-9.
Can somebody tell the? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you real quick, but can somebody tell the Brewers the point of baseball is to continue further in the postseason?
The Brewers are terrible right now. I don't even know.
Y'all are getting dog walked right now.
Yeah, we're just game one's obviously over because we think it's easier to win Detroit, 2 in a row than 1-1. Oh, we will. Yeah, I'm so happy about the Detroit Tigers. This life spree. Oh, it's underneath the Dillon jersey. This life spree the Tigers have been on for over a decade.
Hottest team going into the postseason right now.
I love it, man. I love it. They're great. Yeah, 8-4 right now. The Mets bullpen could be terrible. But anyways, back to the Jets. I'm sorry.
The Jets are doo-doo trash. Aaron Rodgers is a shell of himself. And that offense is not as – I don't get it.
All right, hot take around the horn. Is Aaron Rodgers coming back next season already?
No.
He might not even finish the season.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he might not even be the starter.
Hold on.
The way
if he comes back, if he's not back next year, it's not because he isn't the starter. This is the Jets.
No,
they don't have anybody else.
No, I'm saying hopefully he's going to be so bad that he's just going to contemplate retirement is what I'm really getting to.
I think his ego won't let him.
He has to take himself out, like you said, Charles.
I don't think his ego will let him retire.
You don't think so?
No, he's going to find another home.
I don't know about that.
He's going to pull a Brett Favre and go somewhere else.
You think he's going to pull a Brett? He's too fucking old.
So was Brett Favre.
Have you been watching Aaron Rodgers, bro?
So how old was Brett Favre when he went to Minnesota?
Dude who contemplated running for vice president with Robert F. Oh, no, he didn't. Fuck off. It's because he didn't get picked. Yes, he did. You don't. This motherfucker's gonna.
That could have been a big publicity stunt.
Okay.
It was all part of Pat McAfee and all that.
When Aaron Rodgers played for Green Bay, and I love Aaron Rodgers. Okay, a lot. You hear the way I talk and blah blah blah. Oh, you must be really hurt. He's got no. I'm not, because the hardest argument as a Green Bay Packers during the Aaron Rodgers era was when somebody came up and went, "Yeah, he's a diva." There is nothing we could say about that. Nothing.
No, nobody's ever. If a true Packer fan has never argued that, well, I hope you have not, because that is a losing battle, my friend.
The only thing you can then say is situational.
laughing.
If you're a Lions fan,
Because it's a fact.
It's not only a fact.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't say that he's a diva, you're a jackass.
so does a diva just walk away
Hell no.
because he knows it?
He's not walking away.
He's gonna
Not
have a
like
goodbye
this.
tour and everything. He's got to
not going out like a loser like this with the Jets.
because he
There's
wants
no
to be
way.
an owner. So he wants to find out who he doesn't want to be a part of, who doesn't give him a goodbye package.
But he effed himself by taking this big contract with the Jets. So I'm assuming that if he was to get out, he would have to stay with New York.
Well,
Nobody's
the
gonna take
contract
on
was
that
just
contract, correct?
Wasn't it just a 1-year deal left on it though?
I don't know. I can't
I don't
remember.
know. Thought
Probably.
it was 4. But
No, I think it was just 2 years.
Looking it up now.
Yeah, look it up because that's a big deal too. I'm pretty sure it was just 2 years.
he already wasted 1. So if it was a 2-year deal, this is
Because there was talk about he said he was going to play for 2 years. I'm going to play for 2 years. So
Right.
there was speculation that there was going to be a
So
third.
he has
year.
1 year left on his contract.
Yeah, there
this
it is,
year,
the third
this
year.
year or next year. Okay,
Next year will be his last year.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
so
so
there it is.
I could see him playing like Brady, but the
God,
way I'll just be honest, the way he's playing right now,
This is how a 40-year-old broken ass dude should be playing in the
exactly.
NFL.
It's like-
Technically 41.
Technically 41. Yeah, exactly like you were saying, Patrick. You said that all off season.
Somebody brought this up too about the whole Bo Nix thing. He said, "Yeah, Uncle Rogers or whatever" when they were playing the game.
Like it's just bad. It's just all
Well,
bad.
okay, so we'll do this little timeline, right? Because the Jets were Super Bowl bound until that first Monday, and then that first.
Their fan base is a little even more delusional than the Detroit Lions, unfortunately, which is insane.
It's
but-
like the Bears and the
Yeah.
Lions had a baby, and
Yeah.
you have the Jets. That's
I
the.
don't wanna-
And
I
I'm
don't wanna
sorry,
be-
Paul. I'm sorry.
Am I the deadbeat?
no.
No. Oh God, no. You have 100 different things.
No.
You were on the road and the Lions cheated. There it is.
Lions cheated.
I'm loyal by default.
You're loyal by default.
I
You're loyal by
stayed and
default.
raised this kid. It's
So you-
delusional. man.
So you had the 49ers. Okay.
Right.
Now, week 1 49ers was a pretty good team. And then all of a sudden, all of these injuries happened.
Right.
The 49ers are still a pretty good team, but we're not talking number 1 in the NFC right now. They're probably top 5 because there isn't a plethora of talent in the NFC that has come out.
Well, they're
the waves.
banged up, but eventually they'll get back to being
Okay.
who they're supposed to be.
Okay. I don't know. That's a tough statement. I don't think they are. I think they're at best top 5 in the NFC right now. And I think they're more 5 than they are 2, but they're probably more 3 than they are 4. So 5 or 3, whatever you want to put them at.
Sure. Yeah.
But anywho, so the Jets lose to them pretty handedly, 32-19.
Correct.
And then you go on and play the Titans and Patriots.
And
You barely beat the Titans. And you
smack
beat
up-
the Patriots, and you have a good game against the Patriots.
yeah,
but at this point,
offensively was good.
at this point, even defensively, they only gave up 3 points. But we're talking about potentially the worst team in the NFL, especially with
Let's not get carried
Carolina
away.
winning.
Let's not get carried away.
Arguably, yes.
So in my mind, the Jets beating the Patriots is no better than the Lions beating Seattle. And you
It's
can
like
give
in
any-
college,
They
you're
might
playing your
actually be
weak
worse,
teams in the
because at least
first
Seattle was
preseason.
winning games.
Yeah, yes.
Playing the Patriots or Carolina, it's like
In Seattle,
first
did put up a
2-3
little bit of a
weeks in
fight.
college where your powerhouse teams are
Detroit is
playing.
terrible defensively.
You're playing your lower conference teams. That's what the Patriots are out of college. You're playing
yeah.
MAC,
Yeah.
WC, like these. You're expected to win these games.
Right. So now this game, I believe, was on a Thursday. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Thursday night game.
And then you don't play again until the following week Sunday. So you have 9 days
To
You have
prepare.
9 days to prepare for Bo Nix
And you
Sean Payton
lose 10
and
to
the
9.
Broncos. And then you lose 10-9. I think the Jets are a 500 team, and I think they're only a 500 team because of their defense.
That's generous.
And I don't see it really being any other way. Looking at the Jets' schedule moving forward,
It's not great.
no, it's definitely not great.
Which is not
Week
in their
5,
favor.
they're about to lose to the Vikings. They're going to lose to the Bills. They'll
They might
probably
lose to
lose to
Pittsburgh.
the resurgence of Justin Fields with the Steelers. That's hilarious. Hashtag
You want to go
bear down.
over? Can I?
Oh, Justin Fields.
Can I tell you some stats for the game?
Oh, please do.
I'm going to combine both of the teams' top stats. So Rodgers and Knicks combined were 36, of 67 for 285 yards.
Yeah.
Rushing, they were 34 for a $109. 34 rushes for 109 yards. So they had 400
That's
yards,
one person.
400 yards of offense between two teams,
Derrick Henry
and there was
in
19
week 4.
negative plays.
He had almost
Derrick Henry
200
in
yards
week 4
rushing.
had 27 rushes, 209 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had more offense than both of these teams combined.
That's
Henry.
insane to say that out loud.
Yeah.
And that could, listen, I just want to put that out there because I keep making fun of my cousin. That could have been you, Cowboys. But no, you and Jerry Jones wanted to be a bunch of dumbasses and wait till the 2 hours before the kickoff to sign your quarterback and receiver. And now you're stuck with Ezekiel
Yeah,
Elliott.
you really
Not
shouldn't
only
have signed.
that,
You should have signed
I'm the
Henry over
dumbass who
CD Lamb.
drafted his ass. I'm the dumbass who drafted Ezekiel Elliott. Now,
No, you no.
that is
If
a terrible pick.
if you didn't draft CD Lamb, I would have.
no,
Drafted Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh,
Ezekiel Elliott.
sorry.
Look at him. Look at me over there. I was like, yes,
When
exactly.
I saw that, listen, I lost.
I knew
Don't get me wrong, I lost.
It was a good.
But what-
It was a decent.
When I saw that, I was like, what the hell is Patrick thinking?
Yeah,
small reach, but
that's my second running back now. That's my first option.
you would think that with CD getting you 20 to 20, Zeke would have been a great option.
At least
Well, the
getting you
fact
10
they're
to
going
15
with a
points.
rookie is insane. That they're paying Zeke quite a bit of money to literally
Do
sit on the
nothing.
bench for three rushes a game.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But at the same time, the NFL.
I understand it. He sucks. But
He's not. He's
he
the
stinks.
shell of himself.
But whatever, sucks. I don't like it. Whatever. It
Well,
is what it is.
The next 5 games for the Jets,
Vikings,
they
Bills,
might win one.
Steelers, Patriots, Texans. Actually, you know what? I see them going 3-2.
who they beating?
They lose Vikings, Bills, and a get right game Sunday Night Football against the Steelers. I'm feeling fishy about that one.
And they're playing.
In Pittsburgh, yeah. But listen, Justin Fields is their quarterback. Okay, he had one good fucking game in 4 years.
But that defense.
Yeah, didn't they just get beat up last week?
I hear you. I'm just saying.
I know that one might, but I do think then they beat the Patriots, and I think they beat.
Steelers
I
could
think
be
they
a
beat.
50-50.
3-2 over the next 5. I really do. I think 3-2
And you
over
think
the
they could
next
beat
5.
the Texans?
I think Texans. Listen, the Texans are not who they were last year. CJ
Right.
Stroud there was a year of game tape on him. We said this on the show. We were laughing at everybody putting money on a year 2 quarterback for MVP odds. We thought that was fucking hilarious. Clearly, way too many people have access to gambling because some of y'all need a license to have a baby. There definitely needs to be a license to gamble. And I don't mean like a driver's license. I mean like a written fucking test. But hey, I can take your money all day. Yeah, I don't like. Let me see what the Texans' schedule is.
While you look that up, the rest of the schedule for the Jets after the Texans: Cardinals,
Yeah.
Colts, Seahawks, Dolphins, Jags, Rams, Bills, Dolphins. They might have a shot at a wild card spot.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
might. A slight one, but they could possibly pull off a wild card spot and then get dragged out in the first round.
Yeah. Like I said, right now I don't even want to talk about any teams making the playoffs. There's so many ifs and what ifs, and
I see the Texans doing the same thing in the next 5.
the Texans.
I see the Texans going 2-2 coming
are the
into
Texans,
that Jets game.
Is that the most disappointing team in the NFL right now?
I mean, if you decided to put stock in a second-year quarterback, yeah.
I just mean, is it what we thought it was? Is it?
No,
I've
I've got their defense on my fantasy team. Fuck no.
I
Those
thought they'd
fucking
be.
trash,
I thought they would be
fucking
much
terrible.
better. I don't know.
I would probably say the
Well, you
Rams
know-
are probably more disappointing.
The
than
Rams?
that. Just because you would still thought they were going to compete.
Yeah,
Well,
but the Rams are
injuries.
missing.
But their injuries,
they're
their
missing-
injuries is
They're
what causing.
But they're competing with these trash injuries. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're missing 60% of their offense.
honestly,
between their two
Colorado
receivers.
football being 4-1 is more shocking than anything going
Listen,
on.
the
in the
Commanders leading the NFC East.
I know. I had to
is
admit that I
shocking.
was wrong the other day. I thought they were going to get their ass
NFL.
beat.
Yeah, too.
That was a hard pill to swallow, but I did it.
Yeah, I would say the Commanders are probably one of the most shocking.
And the Vikings. I didn't expect them to be 4-0.
Y'all didn't.
You expected them to be 4-0?
Y'all didn't. I didn't expect them to be 4-0, but I'm not shocked they're winning. Y'all
I'm
did.
definitely shocked that they're winning.
I told you, Kevin O'Connell is a good fucking coach.
And at the pace that they're winning.
Yeah.
It's not like they're just slightly winning games.
I thought they'd be
winning
500,
games.
but yeah. Hold on now. No.
No.
Minnesota was exposed. Green Bay lost that game.
I hear you.
Minnesota did not win that game.
I hear you. But the other 3 games, they won one. Like, they won.
They beat a weak, beaten up San Francisco team. They lost Trent Williams like the first quarter of the game.
Injuries on the other team.
No, but you can count that as why you won. They got to the quarterback because they lost their left tackle. It's a hard win. You got no weapons either. I think they had a receiver was out. CMC was out.
Okay. All right. Now, here we go. They've played the Giants. Okay. When you beat the Giants 28-6, awesome. You struggled to beat a broken 49ers team 23-17. And then you beat up on the Texans. And I don't care what you think about the Texans out there. They are not a good football team.
That's not the same offense as we saw last year.
Now, they did smoke the Texans, right? But the Texans were riding the Caleb Williams high. The Texans barely fucking beat the Bears, bro. And I'm not telling, and I don't mean that in a negative way. The Bears barely beat the Colts.
No, it's
right there. You go. Yeah. The Texans barely beat the Bears.
They barely beat us. Let's just.
Regardless,
both losses that we've had, it's a barely loss.
Oh, it's Caleb Williams' fault. 100%.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying
you're adding to this fuel, though.
I'm just
that
saying,
is
we
like,
didn't get blown out, though. Let's just.
I don't trust I don't trust the Texans. And then, bro, Green Bay threw 3 interceptions, fumbled the ball twice.
So, do you think that Jordan Love came back too soon? Maybe he should have waited one more week?
Oh God, no! I'm glad I saw him. Dude, what I saw towards the end of the game, I'm fucking stoked for the Rams game.
I think the big takeaway, especially in the NFC North, for everybody to calm down that's listening, we're not saying that the Vikings are going to run away with the division, because we can all agree that the records clearly don't define how good the teams are, especially when it comes to Green Bay and Minnesota. Yes, y'all are 2-2, but that doesn't define, hey, they're out of the playoff run. They're not even going to make a division run.
No, Green Bay is still in the top 10 power ranking in the entire NFL right now. Seriously. So
this is coming from a Bears fan.
But here's the thing. Now, you're saying winning handedly, right? Because I don't want to skip off of this. Sometimes we go side quest real quick. So the Giants scored 6 points. Awesome. That's the Giants. The 49ers, with nothing, managed 17. So that's pretty fantastic. The the Texans then scored 7. Whoa, C.J. Stroud. You know how we feel about C.J. Stroud. Now, the Green Bay Packers just put 29 on you, right? So a top 10 team puts 29 on you, right? And out of the rest of those teams, none of them are, I guess, the 49ers, but
yeah,
17-23 isn't smashing the 49ers.
No.
And it literally came down to an onside kick in the Green Bay Packer games. And we could say, oh, it's because the Vikings took their foot off the gas. Yeah, that's who the fucking Vikings are. That's why I don't expect them to go far. Looking at their schedule ahead, the Vikings are in a pretty good position, though. To be honest with you, the schedule heavily favors them. Outside of conference games, I'm pretty sure they're going to be favored in all of them. Outside of conference games.
I can see that.
Jets, Vikings, Lions, Vikings. That's going to be tough. Then you got the Rams. Nope. Colts. Nope. Jaguars. Nope. Titans. Nope. Bears. Sorry. Nope. Cardinals. Nope. Falcons. Maybe that might be it might be a look ahead game, because then right after that you got the Bears and then the Seahawks and then the Packers, Lions. If you win
6 of those
games, you're in the playoffs, because you started
at a minimum a wild card.
And you're winning 6 of those. Dude, you're winning 6 of those games. You're beating the Colts. You're beating the Jaguars. You're beating the Titans.
You're going to get one with the Bears at least.
You're going to get one with the Bears. You're going to get one with the Cardinals, Falcons. And you're gonna get the one with the Seahawks.
And in the last 2 games, you could split the Green Bay and the Lions game.
Split the Green Bay and the Lions game. Yeah, you're right there. I do expect the Vikings.
You can end between 10 and 12 wins, possibly.
Yeah, I expect the Vikings to be in the playoffs this year, due to their unexpected great start. Yeah. I thought 3-1 was going to be the best. Yeah, Brewers lost.
Let me ask you this: let's say they win 12 games, and let's just say they win 12 games and win the division, right? Let's just say hypothetically for story purposes. Can they make a playoff run?
What's that?
If they win 12 games and take the division, let's just say for story purposes,
Yeah.
can they make a playoff run?
Yeah, it's the NFL. I wouldn't be shocked. You win 12 games in the NFL, you won 3 more games where you probably weren't expected to win. Yeah, it's when you look at the Vikings and you're like, but they have Sam Darnold. You're not looking at the Vikings. I don't care who they have as quarterback. They
If
have
you
Kevin
get
O'Connell.
and you got Justin Jefferson,
Well,
you can give him the ball.
I'm not even looking at the players on the fucking field. That's the thing. That is the most dangerous piece for the Minnesota Vikings is the coaching staff. You've got Kevin O'Connell at the helm, and you have Brian Flores running that defense. Brian Flores is a master of
He's
disguises.
scheming it up.
That dude is definitely part of the fucking Turtle Club.
And you're not going to be able to catch him.
No. The Texans. Now you're looking at their schedule moving forward. Okay, so they got the Bills coming up. The 24-20, they struggled against Trevor Lawrence and
Let's be
Jacksonville.
honest, though. Flores was a terrible head coach.
Yes. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Listen, again, it goes
He's a
back
way
to
better defensive
that
coordinator.
goes
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to the
great-
saying.
great
Some
defensive
people are
coordinator.
not meant to be head coaches. You're
Well,
just meant to be
Well,
coordinators.
one
Yeah.
thing I want to touch
Shout out
on
Brian Benamy.
Minnesota does an excellent job drafting receivers. Like they've knocked it out of the park with the last like 3-4
Nelson
guys.
Aguilar, Jordan Addison, Justin
Well,
Jefferson.
Naylor
Yeah.
they just keep going on and getting dogs, guys that catch touchdown passes. They're a very difficult team to defend.
Very good route runners. But
Yeah.
with all of that said, the
Houston's
Green
got a
Bay
tough
Packers with 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and some questionable defensive calling, and 2 missed field goals.
I talked about this the other night. We both agreed. We both agree. For you to disagree with us, the Packers more lost that game than the.
And that's
Well,
fine.
the division could easily be having
Special
3 teams that are 3-1 right
Oh
now.
yes, easily.
Yeah.
Special teams. Don't even get me started about special teams.
That's just. We had 2 kickers work out today, by the way.
Yeah, Mason Crosby or no?
No. Isn't it funny that the Green Bay Packers are having a harder time replacing Mason Crosby than Aaron Rodgers? Who made that bet?
Kickers aren't a dime a dozen though, like they used to
So
be.
I'm guessing that wasn't on your bingo card.
Not a thing.
How much are they going to offer the Giants to get old boy back?
Talking about getting old boy back, Devante Adams has told the Raiders, I want to trade. He should have fucking said it last year, dumbass.
I think we didn't think this was going to happen this soon, but the Raiders are trash. Man, they're trash.
Like, we all knew they were going to be trash.
Yeah.
No, we thought Thanksgiving he would be available. We didn't think this early in the season he'd be available.
November 5th is the trade deadline.
You got a month basically to figure it out.
So,
And they're only asking for a second round in some type of compensation. So I don't even think that's like a lot to give up for Devante.
No.
But the question is, one, I don't think he's going in the division, so I don't think I think KC is out of the question.
he's going to the Jets.
Yeah, he'll go to the Jets and team back up with A-Rod.
I'm like, listen, he's going anywhere
Darkness
but in the
and
AFC
bullshit.
West. That's all I'm saying. He can go anywhere, but I'm pretty sure the Raiders are not trading him in the division.
No,
But it's
no.
not
The Bills gave Kansas City Xavier Worthy. Not
They're
every
not-
team is as dumb as the Carolina Panthers. Oh my God, they're so stupid.
but
Never seen a team so dumb. We talked about that. We
it's-
talked about that.
So y'all are
Terrible.
saying he's going to the Jets. That's where y'all believe he'll end up going.
That and Bakhtiari.
It's a second round draft pick. Yeah, all day. The Jets are not in a position to see what happens.
No, they're in win
need
now.
to win
mode,
now.
so, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, though. There is a question that just came to mind. Can
Yes.
the Jets afford?
Devante Adams. Is that contract too big?
But you can always move money around. That's why they would wait until the trade deadline probably to make that call.
Yeah.
They'll get rid of somebody.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 5 potential trade destinations. Okay, so the Jets currently have around $6 million in cap space. While this isn't enough to cover Devante Adams' remaining salary for the season, they could potentially afford him by restructuring other players' contracts or making roster moves. Adams is owed $13.5 million for the rest, but a trade by the November 5th deadline, he would only be owed $8.6 million. So the trade is going to have to move before the deadline, and apparently he's come out with 5 teams
5. Huh?
Wide receiver Devante Adams has
He's got a
informed the
list.
Raiders that he would prefer to be traded, according to the NFL Network. Here are 5 potential trade destinations for Devante
right,
Adams.
let's run 'em.
He has not. Okay. He did not say any of these names. The
No, these all
GameHoss.com, they're an esports website that I go to from time
This
to
is just
time.
speculation at this point.
Pure speculation. They have the number 1 team being the New York Jets. I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
These other ones have me questioning, but I do have the answers with the question. The number 2 team potential,
Play Madden.
the number Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers because they have so much
They got a lot of cap space,
draft
don't they?
capital. Yes, they've got a lot of draft capital and money available.
So it would ideally
And-
be not the worst scenario for him.
And Brandon Ayuk was a go. The 49ers just wouldn't let him go. So that was a done deal. I actually think
That would be scary.
I don't know if he would mesh well with Pickens.
Probably not.
Pickens
Pickens
ran
would
the
have
other
to be
guy.
number 2.
Pickens ran the other guy out, and he's about
Deontay
to.
Johnson.
Doesn't he play for Carolina?
Carolina.
And Carolina's about to trade him to, I believe, a team like Kansas City if Miami doesn't decide to trade Tyreek Hill back to Kansas City. So that'll be something to watch also.
If Tyreek Hill ends up back in Kansas City, that's another story for another day.
He'd have 2 more Super Bowls if the West would have just stayed.
I'm pretty sure he misses it.
Oh, I promise you he misses it.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna take a wild guess in the next team that's on the list. Is it the
Because you already said the Jets and
So the Jets and the Pittsburgh Steelers,
and you're saying the
the
49ers.
Washington
49ers.
Commanders.
Oh, that's that. Yeah, they got a shitload of money too.
See, now again, too, though, if I'm Devante Adams, I'm not going to Jane Daniels. I'm sorry.
Like it can't be worse than where he's at now.
No, it's 100 times better than where he's at. And this has nothing to do with the quarterback. This has everything to do with you're just walking into a path without a fucking light.
Because you don't know what you got. If he's hurt, your season's over.
And then you're stuck with Sam Howell or somebody, and you're in another Raiders situation with another team, and now you should just go back to your diva friend because you're being a bigger diva. I don't think but I believe the Washington Commanders are on the list because they were Brandon Ayuk and somebody else's.
Well, there's someone else on that list probably has a fake quarterback that's probably coming up next.
Now here's one though. Now here's 2 that I think 1, 2, 3. I think these are my new 1, 2, 3s. Coming in at number 4, the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't know how to feel about that.
How can the Baltimore Ravens afford him? They've got the least amount of money in the NFL.
Same way the Jets would have to, as long as he's
They would
traded
have to
before.
maneuver that
They
shit
Yeah.
around.
have $4.43 million in cap space.
Who? The Ravens?
Baltimore Ravens, yeah.
Yeah, but if this is a trade, you trade
they
Zay Flowers in a second round or
Do
Zay
you really trade Zay Flowers?
I don't know if you trade Zay Flowers, like he's your future.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the guy I pick. I get it. I get what you're doing.
What about the
I would.
tight end there? What about
I
the
would.
tight end there?
Like
no.
They have 2.
I would
decent
trade
tight
Zay
ends.
Flowers. Yeah, indubitably. Do you know why you're not in the AFC Championship game last year?
Because you're not catching shit.
Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers holds on to the ball. It's a touchdown. You guys are in the championship game. And Devante Adams is 100 times better than Zay Flowers.
That's
The only thing Zay Flowers has is speed. You don't need it. You've got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. You don't need it. You need somebody who can catch
their
the
hands on the
ball, who can catch the ball that shouldn't be caught, and that's Devante Adams.
and he's got height.
You trade Zay Flowers, opens up cap space. You trade Zay Flowers and a 5th round draft pick.
Ooh, that's tough.
I mean,
I don't hate it.
You hate
It's
it if
tough.
you're in their division, but you don't
literally
hate it if
anybody
you're
else. Yeah.
Baltimore. yeah.
Yeah. And again,
Maybe.
and if it's just me and I'm Devante Adams and I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Baltimore Ravens,
Well,
I'm taking Lamar Jackson over Justin
Absolutely.
Fields.
That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
And then the last one on the list
Detroit.
makes absolutely no sense.
Detroit.
They say the Dallas Cowboys.
No,
That's
no way.
stupid.
Yeah.
No, Baltimore is your headliner. It's your number one.
I really do. I think
Your 1 and 2 is Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh. That's your 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Jets. It's
You
because
throw-
of Aaron Rodgers. It's
you
not
throw
because of
it.
the Jets. It's because of Aaron
That's
Rodgers.
what I'm saying. I'm like,
but
that
here-
friendship isn't going to win you anything, though,
Well,
at this point.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. He's going to look
Well,
at
the
where
friendship didn't keep him in Green Bay.
Well, I know that. Let's see when the deadline comes. If the Jets are, let's say, 3-6, he ain't going to the Jets.
Devante Adams loved the Green Bay Packers, though.
Yeah.
I think my 1, 2, 3, 4, honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4, would be the Jets, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Packers.
And the only reason the Ravens would jump the Jets is say situational.
If I want a Super Bowl, I'm going to the Ravens or the
Yeah.
Packers.
Out of
right? Like,
that
I'm-
list,
Yeah.
that's the only teams that make sense.
Yeah, I mean, because the Pittsburgh.
I'm not saying
I
the
don't
Pittsburgh
know.
Steelers can win the Super Bowl because that's
Listen,
a
all
stretch.
respect in the world. Tell me if I'm wrong by saying this. The Bears did win a Super Bowl with Jim McMahon and an elite defense, right?
Yes.
So it's very possible for the Steelers to win a Super Bowl with an elite defense and
Look what
Justin
Trent
Fields.
Dilfer did with the Ravens in 2000.
Trent Dilfer, yeah. Matt Hasselbeck,
But it's
right?
not unheard of to lead a team as a mid quarterback.
I mean, when we're talking about the Steelers here, but again, now
But I'm probably choosing the Ravens out of all this list, to be honest.
Yeah, if you want, but you're thinking of that
Yeah.
Super Bowl. If he's
I
just
mean,
wanting to go play,
it's Baltimore or Green Bay. If I'm thinking
Yeah.
Super Bowl, and Green Bay isn't Super Bowl this year; it's Super Bowl next year or the year after, right? I'm just moving back to Green Bay because I love Green Bay. But if I want a Super Bowl, want a Super Bowl, I truly believe Devante Adams is the missing piece to Lamar Jackson being successful
And
in the
this is the
playoffs.
thing. Devante Adams can be for Lamar Jackson what Odell was hoping to be for him. But he's washed at that point.
I would lose rushing yards in my fantasy, but I would gain touchdowns. Oh
You
my
guys
God.
want to play a game, real quick?
Whoa. Who do I got to kill to get out of this motherfucker? It's Halloween, and you just asked me if I want to play a game.
I allegedly didn't do anything.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
offenses and
I've been living a good life. All right.
top offenses and top defenses in the NFL.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna give you a number, and it's in the 5, and you let me know. Just pick a team and see who can get the most teams out of here in the top 5.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Give me your top 5 defenses, and I'll tell you how many you got.
All right, you go first, Mr. Charles.
All right. Man, coming in at no, 'cause they're around 13th. They are number 1 in takeaways.
Well, these are
Interceptions.
yards, the least amount of passing yards, least amount of. These are your best defenses. Takeaways are fine, but if teams aren't moving the ball on you, that's the way the NFL basically does the defense. They rank the defenses based off of how many yards you go up a game, how many first downs you give up, yada yada yada. So I think you can figure out where this list is.
You threw a very complex question. Just
These are the NFL.com
no,
defensive leader rankings. I'm just assuming these are what they're going off of.
Well,
based
no,
off of looking at the numbers. here.
the point of me saying that was you're looking for the answer. It's just easy. Name 5 teams, but we're not at a sports bar here. You're talking to 2 analytical people. We're gonna think about fucking everything. You might be here a minute.
I'm gonna give you 2
See what I mean?
for the moment.
All right,
Because I still got-
this isn't a singles thing anymore. If you want to
right,
ask
well,
this question, as Paul and I are going to build a list together.
I'll surprise
Okay,
you.
all right.
Obviously, the Steelers are on this list.
The
Steelers
Steelers,
are
the
on the-
Bears,
The Minnesota Vikings.
Nope.
the Bears,
Nope.
the Commanders.
Nope.
All right, just tell us. I don't want to. I
All
don't
right.
want to hear
Your,
this.
your top 5 defenses based off of everything that all the analytics, the yards per game.
Listen, there's a lot of terrible teams in the NFL in the
Point
first 4
cloud.
weeks. I get it.
Yeah,
I'm not
maybe-
shocked by these numbers. I'm not going to
maybe-
be shocked by any team you say.
You might be, because they've got the Tennessee Titans coming in as the number one.
No, I'm not
I'm
shocked.
surprised
Yes,
at that. I'm actually
they've had
surprised.
a top 5 defense, but they're playing terrible teams.
Will Levis is trash.
Only giving up 243 yards a game. That's insane.
When they played the Bears, bro, they held Caleb Williams to 93 yards. He's had over 250 in every game since.
I am not shocked that the Titans are on that list.
This one doesn't shock me. The Denver Broncos, because what they did to the Jets, their defense basically won them that football game. Obviously, number 3 is the Jets, and then the Steelers, and then the one that confuses me is the Texans, because I would assume Minnesota would be in that 5th spot, the way that they played. But
They just gave up 29 points, and
that might be why. But anyway, the only surprise.
it's the only reason why Green Bay isn't up there.
Terrible Tennessee is their defense.
It's just their offense they're terrible,
Yeah,
but defensively they're not letting people just walk away with the win.
Well, I mean, the rest of the teams were actually in order the way that you guys were saying, but the top 5 did not show those teams. But that's all based off of obviously performance versus shitty teams, or vice versa. But your offenses, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to get at the offenses. The offenses are all pretty obvious.
Minnesota, Buffalo,
Kansas City.
Baltimore fell out of the top 5.
What about Buffalo?
Buffalo fell out of the top 5.
Yeah, but again,
That's tragic, man.
Tell us.
Bucks?
Baltimore number 1.
Name no.
San Francisco. Green Bay is number 3. Green Bay is only like 40 yards behind Baltimore as far as offensive yards go. They average 410 yards a game. The Packers do.
Yeah, we discussed this, dude. 170 rushing yards a game and 263 yards passing. They are a great football team.
Seattle and the Commanders, dude. I watched a thing the other day, and a guy said, "You guys don't realize the Jane Daniels actually inherited a pretty decent football team. Like that's not as bad as people thought that he got. Like offensive line wise,
so the
rookies they got, they're playing way better than what people thought they would.
So the first 4 games of your NFL career, completion percentage.
82.
That's Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I don't care what the percentage is, but do you know who number 2 and number 3 is on that list? Number 2, Peyton Manning. So literally until yesterday, it was Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Number 3, Tom Brady.
What are those numbers?
I can't remember the completion percentage.
They're high 70s, low 70s. Yeah.
Well, clearly we know that his is going to fluctuate. The question is, can he maintain it for a whole 17 game season?
If they focus their entire offense around him and keeping him healthy, like I said, Charles said, you cannot allow this guy to go out there and take hits the way that he is. Because
every time I watch him play, it's like watching RG3. So
Paul and I talked about this. Yeah, it's like watching it all over.
Quarterbacks cannot take hits like that.
Oh, if you're a Redskins, if you're sorry,
if you're a Washington fan,
if you're a Washington fan and you're watching,
you got PTSD
from the RG3, like Charles has said.
Yeah. Oh, I've got Redskins fans or Commanders fans. We call them Commanders now.
But if they can keep him, give him a clean pocket.
I hope they win their lawsuit and they
can he pick an offense apart? Absolutely, but so can any other.
It's not the Commanders lawsuit; it's the Native American lawsuit.
Hell, we watched what's his face there from Minnesota pick the Packers defense apart when he had all the time in the world to sit back there and
Sammy Boy, yeah. But we made Sammy Boy look human, and that's what I said. No matter who you are, you walk away from that game really only feeling a couple of things, right?
We let it slip through our fingers.
Damn, we lost that game.
Yeah.
Not we got our ass beat. Damn, we lost that game.
We were getting our ass beat, and then we woke up.
Or if you're on the other side of that, damn, we're lucky we got away with that one. Mm-hmm. Like you're not a. You see, I've got a lot of hope. We'll see where I am. Thanksgiving.
That Thanksgiving conversation now seems a lot more interesting.
Oh, it seems way more interesting.
Yeah.
But we are going to give. I think we'll probably do it next week. We'll do it next week. We'll do our first power rankings next week.
Yeah, we should.
It's 5 weeks in it because
5's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a surprise.
We're approaching bye weeks and everything.
I have a surprise.
Go on.
Me and Patrick have been talking about this for a couple weeks, and I keep forgetting to do it. But tomorrow, I am going to create a video, and Patrick's going to do his
the editing. Yeah,
his magic skills. I'm going to have my child do a prediction for Week 5 matchups to
Cool,
post
cool.
it on social media to see. Now, my child she is a diehard Bear fan like her dad. Yes, I'm setting her up for disappointment at a young age,
It's fine.
but she doesn't know football like that. All she knows is one, go Bears, two, Cowboys suck. And at the end of the day, that's most important more than anything. And she doesn't like the Packers, but I told her that there's 2 Packer fans that you can like. You guys are safe. Everybody else, y'all can go play in the street.
You want to know the best part about that guy's TikTok? Is he literally has like people that go on there, they're looking for advice for that.
Yes, like they're
girl's
taking
picks.
bets off of girls' picks.
He bets off the girl's picks. The guy's getting mad that he's like, "How could you take the Bills over the Jets or whatever?" I'm like, "Are seriously, guy, you're getting your advice from like a
This is
40-year-old?"
why I love
here?
sports, bro. I love sports, dude.
So we're gonna try this out. We're gonna try this out for
Yeah.
Boys with the Heat and see if we can go viral with this stuff.
Yeah, I'll send. What I'll do is you send me a couple minute video or whatever, and then I'll edit it and I'll send it back to you, so we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
That's freaking funny.
But yeah, that's all I got. But continue on for the disruption.
That's okay. I don't want to talk too much about the Chargers because it's mostly just coaching mistakes on the Harbaugh side. And it's
You're gonna get that when you
football
go from
again.
college to NFL. Yeah,
That was weird.
But why is he still playing him with that high ankle sprain?
I don't know, but that's all they got. I don't know.
I hear you.
Man, sometimes I need to remind myself that I have a no-hitter baseball behind me. And then I got to tell you guys that, listen, unless it's off my body, if I can play, I'm going to play.
I'm not disputing that.
Period.
That's not what I'm disputing.
Okay, it sounded like you guys were shocked.
No,
I'm just
shocked,
saying.
but-
Okay.
It's just like he started off good, and then ever since he got this high ankle sprain, I know his confidence level is through the roof because he has Harbaugh right there in his ear. I get that. I'm like, he's a quarterback whisperer. I just get a little worried sometimes.
Shout out NHL season starts tonight.
Yeah,
Go
the
Red
Wings
Wings.
didn't look too good in the preseason.
No, that's okay. We're not picked to win the Stanley Cup until 2029. Was it 2029 that I picked?
I don't know. It was the AI thing or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was 2029. We'll come close to 2026.
Yeah.
That game is frustrating though because you feel like the Chargers are 1 or 2 pieces away. We said that all year. It really feels like we're cruising in a year or two for a Chargers Packers Super Bowl. I think that would be delicioso.
Like I said at the beginning of the season, this is the year Justin Herbert has to prove it to me because it's just he's
Put up
good.
or shut up.
I really do. He's playing good football.
I know. I'm not sold yet. That's just me though. I'm not saying he's playing bad ball. It's just I guess with the expectations of him before the Harbaugh and everything, and then playing subpar. Yes, I know the coaching had to play a gigantic factor because he was just donkey trash, and they got to upgrade with Harbaugh.
He's building a huge rapport with Lad McConkey.
So
Yeah, he had a touchdown catch the other day.
I want to see again. It goes back to let's see what happens in Thanksgiving weekend when it comes to the Chargers.
That's why we're going to do our power rankings. I was going to do them this week, but I was like, nah, I think it's not too early because it's the too early power rankings. It can't be too early for a too early power rankings.
Wow.
But I don't think any of us have really watched.
It's going to be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have really watched football with the sense of analytical searching. We've just been so grateful it's been back. We've been loving our teams. I think now that we're back into it, I think we can really. There's a few teams on a bye week, but like one of them is the Philadelphia Eagles. They're a terrible football team.
And nobody's putting Tennessee in the top 15.
Yeah. Nobody's putting Tennessee in the top 15. And I don't know. Personally, you're not winning with Nick as your coach or Jalen as your quarterback. We'll have to wait for Mike to further that conversation because Mike really loves Jalen and he's got all the facts in the world to back it up. And
But he's got beef with Nick, though.
Yeah, well.
As he should.
Nick's in a terrible situation.
Who did the Bears?
He had to
got this
fire
week?
his coordinators he didn't want to get rid of.
Who the Bears got this week? Carolina. All right. Every team's going to be above 500 after this week.
Yeah, because Carolina's getting another win.
Next week, maybe.
That is. Can we talk about the fact that Bryce Young?
How bad Bryce Young is?
How bad Bryce Young must be, I guess, is or must be. The fact the Red Rocket comes in there and just dominates the way that he's been dominating.
The last 2 games.
Yeah.
It's been so frustrating.
With the same weapons. Why didn't they get Hubbard back though? Yeah. By the way, is Nick Chubb coming back from injury? Is this just speculation?
I think he's coming out of the PUP list, but I don't know if he's going to be activated.
Him and TJ Hawkinson are on track to just be where it was in the beginning of the season. I believe that was week 6.
Great, that sucks for me because it's going to be. Of course, he's going to come back when I play Charles.
I don't have Nick Chubb.
Charles has been limping through the fantasy football.
No, I think he has Nick Chubb.
Still putting up freaking top numbers, and then he's going to get all healthy before he plays me. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, TJ Hawkinson is. I tried to trade him away today. Oh boy, didn't want it. I did send out a trade. I tried to trade TJ Hawkinson and Wan'Dale Robinson for DK Metcalf.
Hopefully Pacheco comes back.
I almost pulled off a steal today.
For that.
I almost pulled off a steal today.
Pacheco? No, he ain't coming back.
Then the rest of the league decided to be like, they're not going to let this happen. I tried to trade somebody for Travis Etienne. Granted, he's not at the greatest, right? But I tried to send off Jacoby Myers for Etienne, and he was going to agree to it. And then the rest of the league like, get that shit out of here.
I would have done the same thing, bro. Just because you dumb don't mean it's going to affect me. Fuck that.
I was so close.
Thank you for bringing that up, Patrick. I did want to toot my own horn a little bit.
You are definitely
a scientist.
You're doing something over there.
We'll see. It's still
early. It's still early. Yeah. We got a lot of football left.
This week was crazy though, bro, because the whole time, right? Like
you were losing.
Bro, the points I needed to win were on the bench. They were sitting there, and I was struggling.
It wasn't for that late Tony Pollard touchdown,
bro, and it shouldn't happen. Okay, now here's the thing, right?
For it on 4th and 3.
That's what your thought is, right? But now here's the scenario. Okay, I'm already up 2 scores. A field goal doesn't make it 3. It's still 2 scores. I think I was only up 10 by that point. It's only 2 scores. I'm on the 4-yard line. Okay, I'm going to run a halfback dive because it's going to make them have to go 97 yards, and they haven't been able to do shit.
Right.
This is the perfect scenario. Kicking a field goal keeps you up 2 scores. But here's the kicker. Let's just say magically somehow I score a touchdown. Now I'm up 3 score. It just so happened they ran the halfback dive. The whole pocket collapsed. Pollard hit it, bounced out like a ping pong ball, and hit the outside, scored a fucking touchdown with 20 seconds left. And I go from 132 or 133.3 to 139. And bro, dude, the fucking app was losing it because I was at 1% probability. And Brad was at a 99% probability.
Yeah, I remember.
And that touchdown just swapped that shit over.
I watched it flip back and forth 3 times, bro. Brad went like from 99 to 1, 99 to 1. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, what's this fucking happen? I couldn't fucking believe it, dude. I couldn't believe it.
For anybody that thinks, because you got a 99% chance of winning, and you think you got it on lock, I promise you haven't played long enough.
And I was, dude, and it was just like, oh my God, man. With halfway through the second quarter, he only had 5 points.
Well, that's because Paul, it shouldn't happen. That's why.
No, it shouldn't happen.
I've honestly never seen that happen.
I've never.
Not when it's like the last play of the game, and the only thing that's going to get you the points is a touchdown, and you're not even supposed to go for the fucking touchdown.
Dude, the night before, Derrick Henry was at the 3-yard line and fumbled it, bro. That would have been the touchdown that would have won it anyways. I'm like, oh my God.
Let me tell you about this game from last week. This week from he's 0-4. And context to the story.
Shit happens.
So you know how on ESPN, after the draft is done, it tells you your projection, where you're at. Like after the draft, you're projected 1, all that, 1 through 12 or depending. So he was projected 12th, the 12th team out of the league. And he went on this, man, like that projection don't mean shit. It don't tell you what your team is. Yeah. So my brother-in-law, because it was him and my brother-in-law, they're cousins, and so they were going at it. talking about you because my brother-in-law
seems
at
like
the
a little
time
truth.
started with the 11th and he had the 12th. So now he's 3-1 and he's 0-4. And when I tell you he is quiet, and this is what this was yesterday when the game ended. All he had Kenneth Walker, David Montgomery, and the Detroit's kicker. Every time Walker, when Seattle got the ball, it's like, hey, all you need is Walker to get you. He lost 131.9 to 132.64. All he needed was a reception. One. It don't matter if it went for anywhere. It could have went back to the line.
Yeah, as long as it was at the line or further.
The line, a yard, just one reception, or even rush for 5 yards. Kenny Walker. So they stopped Detroit. David Montgomery the whole time didn't touch the ball. They gave the ball all to Jahmyr Gibbs. Didn't get a field goal. Couldn't get those 3 points. So it's like, hey, Seattle stopped it. You still got Kenneth Walker to at least get you something. Yeah. What does he do? Throw a pick. Game over.
Yeah, and it really is terrible. That game in itself, there was a couple pass interference calls that didn't make sense.
Or a lot of them didn't make sense.
Just this week in general. There's just this football season in general. I was listening to the Greeny show there, and he is one of the privy people to be invited to, because every year the NFL and the head refs and the media, they're like basically the main media that's involved, they get together and more or less have a conversation on points of emphasis. So, hey, holding on the defensive side on the line last year was a little egregious. There's going to be an emphasis on that at the beginning of this season. So when you start hearing about it, don't question it, because you already know we're telling you more or less is how the conversation goes. It's not don't talk about things. It's don't be shocked when you're talking about it, because we're telling you right now. So talk about it how it's supposed to be talked about. Hey, these defensive players have been holding over the last couple of years, and they're starting to get caught for it now, type scenario. So there was an emphasis on the tinker-dink penalties at the beginning of the season, and this is something we're seeing. So it just seems Green Bay's getting fucking smacked by it, man. Another 8 or 9 fucking penalties again. The worst part about that game, dude, is if you just, like, you can have the 3 interceptions, but if you take away the 2 fumbles, we win. Or if you take away the 3 interceptions and leave the 2 fumbles, we win. It's like, or leave the interceptions and the 2 fumbles and make the 2 field goals and we win. Like, you just can't do all that. It's
not going to work all the time.
Wow, it did for Brett Favre, and it was funny. It was like watching Brett Favre again. So you had the Browns and the Raiders. Honestly, I think that is my biggest disappointment of the year. I think the Browns are my biggest disappointment so far through week 4. Patrick, who's yours? Yeah, you did.
Biggest disappointment so far this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. They've been terrible.
Yeah, I love that pick. Yeah. Yeah, is there any hope left in Cincinnati, or are we going to see? Are we going to see trade? Are we going to see trades from Cincinnati?
I'm assuming that if they lose the next game, the panic is going to set in with that fan base. The upper management's going to see that you got Burrow. You've got to do something.
Playing the Ravens.
You got to do something. Yeah, you're
playing the Ravens.
More likely at home. The fact that you don't got Jamar Chase on contract, that just makes it even bigger. I guess might as well just blow this thing up.
But at some point, maybe that's not the worst case scenario if they're gonna be this bad anyway.
Did the front office see the writing on the wall?
Yeah.
Hey, our defense sucks.
But that's my disappointing team right now. The Bengals are my disappointment. Like that, they're just not playing good enough to. I don't know.
Mike just texted me. His disappointed team is the Eagles, but keep going. He did not text me, by the
way. Speaking of expectations, as of right now, this is the fantasy football playoff projection.
Yeah, I'm on the outside.
Did you scroll it over a little bit? Oh, there it is. There it is. I see it. Yeah.
You got
coming in at number 1, Podfessor Peacocks. That's your boy. Holla at your boy. Coming in at number 4, Blue Cax. Holla at your boy, Patrick. Then you got Mike, Mr. Caucasian Chaos, And then Tundra Troubadours coming in. Mr. Pepin, eh?
It's Pippin.
Hey,
See, Paul, Paul's got some work to do, but you're not. You're only.
I'm not out.
You're not out.
But I'm not doing great.
No, I need four more wins. 4 more wins, and I'm making it in the playoffs.
What would be fantastic? I know it probably won't happen because one of our teams is going to slip up. Probably not Charles, but to have an entire show. Fantasy football playoffs. Would that not be?
Oh, that'd be so sick.
If all 4 of us made it,
all of this shit. As of right now, 3 out of the 4 in.
3 out of the 4 of us are in. Yeah, that'd be.
Thank you for giving me pressure.
It's not pressure. This is just optimism that we're trying to encourage you to be better.
I'm 4 spots out.
Here's the thing: how many pending moves do you have ready right now?
I'm not telling you that.
Okay, I'm guessing 0. You're already losing. Okay, good.
Hell no, I got things I gotta do. After what happened the last 2 weeks, things gotta change around here.
Dude, I can't believe it. Honestly, the only person to snipe one of my waivers so far is sitting in this room. Quentin Johnson.
That was a sneaky pickup.
And he sat on the bench the whole fucking time because
this last game.
But guess who didn't get him?
1 catch, 9 yards.
Charles didn't get him.
I've been playing matchups with him. I saw him. I watched him and I was like, man, he's Herbert's favorite target. Then all of a sudden I'm like, guess who they're going against defensively? And I'm like, guess he's going to sit on the bench again. Oh, great. Playing a top 5 defense. He's going to sit on the fucking bench again. Because target share is one thing, but being able to catch the ball in traffic, not the greatest at it. He's open. He's got separation. He's fantastic.
Yeah. I hit huge with the Wan'Dale Robinson pickup.
The Wan'Dale Robinson, I'm very envious of because
he's trade bait. I've got a terrible bench right now.
Dude,
and the only reason it's terrible is because my bench is beating some of the teams in our league.
I know I've had a couple games where I had a 31 from a bench and I had a 220, 25 and a 27 one week. And I'm like, that's all I had on my bench. But I'm like,
I had 93 points on my bench last week.
I think I had like 68.
And I'm like, my backup quarterback, 3 wide
Yeah.
receivers, and a running back. And I've got a tight end that's about to come. TJ Hawkinson's about to. I've got matchup nightmares right now coming up to my. It's going to be a fucking headache until 11:59 a.m. Sunday Central motherfucking time.
Well, you're gonna be hopefully you'll be able to figure that out though.
I tend to. It's
a headache.
It is. It's a lot of reading. It's a lot of following. It's a lot of matchups. It's a lot of dude. There's things that I look at the defense and what they gave up to specific players in the position my players in. Not oh cool wide receiver. No, if you got a number 1 wide receiver and I got your slot receiver, we are not in the same world. I want to know what your slot receiver did. Like I want to how many targets did that slot receiver get? And then I look at the game prior to that because are you just averaging 6 targets a game because you are in the game plan for 6 targets a game? Right. Or did you get 6 targets this game because the slot receiver was more open and the last games prior you were only receiving 2 to 4 targets? So I'm like, holy shit, there's a window.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
And actually, he wasn't sniped, but was in serious consideration. I just couldn't shake the Carolina Panthers, and it took. I don't want to utilize the word desperate, but in lieu of better words and to move forward, it took a desperate situation for somebody to pick him up. But was it Xavier Legette? Bradley picked up Xavier Legette. I feel so bad for Brad. I really, and I don't mean that in a negative way. That dude fucking played a magical week leading up to this match. He was projected at one point at 98 points and found 137. And
there's
just a huge shout out
where it doesn't matter what you do. You're just going to lose that week. Things happen. Players do special things. There's a week or two during the season where you're just like, man, I'm gonna dominate. This guy's only projected to win 90 points or something. It's his bye week, and then all of a sudden he scores 145. Yeah. It happens. But
and then I look at my touchdown. And I look at my touchdown production too. Where's my touchdowns coming from? And right now, 70% of my touchdowns is Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, and that's not okay.
Your bye week is going to be very difficult for you. You might end up having to dick around.
Yeah. Arguably, it's going to depend on a matchup for Pollard, and I believe my quarterback situation is fine. I have Sam Darnold. Sorry, I have Sam Darnold. Why? That's going to be an all season thing.
Yeah.
But I do. I've got old Darny boy as my backup, and he's fucking averaging 20 points. So that's really good. You go through last week. I think I'm one of 2 people who had a quarterback go for more than 19. I said, yeah, I had 23 from him on my bench. I had 18-4 from Wandell. It's fucking crazy. Debo Samuel managed 10 points on 3 catches, so they're handing the ball off to him quite a bit. But I got Debo back now, and that was big. That was the game changer. Good old Debo Samuel.
This is a weird season already into week 4.
It's a very I didn't put in half this work last season. And I've started the season off 0-3.
Early. The injury started early this year.
Yeah.
And like for big players at that. Granted, the replacements are doing okay. I have hold please. I got Bradley this week. Oof. And he's projected to beat my ass. That's only because I got a couple bye weeks that I got to change out. And
yeah, you got a Saquon.
And Jake Elliott.
Yeah.
And I'm not dropping Saquon. He's just, I got moves that are pending.
But no, the game won't let you drop Saquon.
I wouldn't want to even if it did.
Yeah, the app won't let you. Yeah.
Which I appreciate the app so I don't accidentally drop something that I don't want to drop.
Yeah, I've got Evan Fisher. I got big TD wins.
Big TD wins.
He's got to replace Sam Laporta right now. When I looked earlier, he was a plus 13. Right now he's at a plus 10. And I don't see a tight end on his bench. Ooh, so I'm going to go into the waiver wire and I'm going to pick up 3 tight ends and I'm going to drop everyone on my bench to pretty much solidify the win this week.
Too bad it doesn't always work.
It doesn't work like that. I would solidify me losing the championship. That's what I would do.
The way the waiver wire works.
Unfortunately, you're not the person that needs to do that to win anyway.
You are definitely going to get the scraps of what's left.
You say that, dude. You say that.
I'm just saying scraps. I'm just saying you're definitely going to have to wait till everything clears Wednesday morning to see, okay, what's left.
Why, Paul? What did you do? Is what Charles and I want to know. What do you got?
I got a few things pending. Okay.
All I need is one of your first moves to be a waiver wire, because then that puts you behind me. I'm 12. By the way, I'm fucking 12. I've been 12 for 2 weeks, and then I need one of your moves to be my move, and I get it.
I hear you.
Did you pick up multiple at one time? Is that why?
I do. I go 3 to 5.
You gotta have backups just in case the first one or the second one doesn't go through.
Yeah, I try to go 3 to 5 a week. Well, really,
it depends.
Yeah, that's not all season. Like I sit and wait the first 3 weeks.
Because there might be 1 week where you don't need to pick anything up because you're just fine. And if you do pick something up that you don't need, you're just picking up so somebody else can't have it.
I'm just not falling into the trap of whoever plays Carolina this year, that's the defense I'm picking up.
That's not always going to work out.
That's not going to
work
out now,
because fucking Raiders got me -4 and Texans got me 1. So
Detroit was doing so good last night.
Yeah.
Until the second half. And then it just went to shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love hearing this thing too where they're like, we take our foot off the gas on the second half. And it's
why?
No, here's the hardest part about winning a professional anything from start to finish. Specifically ones with a halftime. Because when I'm losing, I'm going into halftime as a good head coach. I'm going to go into halftime and do this thing called an adjustment.
Yeah.
And you can't make an adjustment to my adjustment until you've already seen that adjustment. So genuinely, the third quarter is a struggle for coaching staffs that have a hard time recognizing and then adjusting to the adjustment. And that's generally what you have with the Lions. Now, they do have a great coaching staff. So that's why the Lions now, where they were losing those games, are winning a majority of those games. And you can even put a 94, 95% on that. Doesn't matter because the ones you're losing are the playoffs. So
Let me ask you a question, and on your feel on this, because I personally, I don't care. I'd rather wish they would do it. Fuck this whole sportsmanship thing, whatever. Sometimes, why are some teams scared to run up the board?
I believe that has everything to do with the voodoo.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it has everything to do with the voodoo. You just don't want that karma. You don't.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's sports. Sports is such a superficial thing, bro. You got dudes wearing underwear they were wearing in college when they won the Natty, right?
That's weird.
It's sports. And it's normal in sports.
I'm running the score up.
Here's the perfect example. In the last 2 years, it has to be 2 years. Yeah. What's the highlight of Miami's?
That 70-point game.
There you go. That's why
choking in Kansas City.
No, that's a definition, not a highlight. They ain't putting that on a fucking reel.
No.
I don't. If that isn't an explanation, I don't think you'll ever get it. But that's just more the sports. You know, you just don't fuck with the sports.
So
gods.
it's okay with college to run up the score, but in the pros,
yeah, but
Wait, 'cause
you're not
what do
running
you-
it up
what-
at college.
What do you get?
There's
for
nothing you can do when you're fucking just wide open.
Well, college also does style points. The NFL doesn't do style points. There's no rankings in the NFL. A win is a win. It does
Yeah,
not.
because look at just perfect example. Like Michigan has outside of the Texas game, they've won every game, but they're trash.
Yeah, have they looked good?
No. But-
Arguably, they should have lost the last game.
yeah.
Whatever it is, what it is.
So it is. That's like, why is the prize money in equestrian higher than in hobby horsing? Right? They're both a horse. Like, yeah, but one's a real horse.
One's an invisible one.
It's a good question, though. I love the question. All right, let's do. Okay, I gotta pick the cripple fight. Colts Jaguars screams.
I wanted to do it, or we give each other a game.
Yeah, let's do that too. Let's start it. It's week 5. We start our
Yeah, we
pickups
can
at
do
week
that.
5. We start our pickups. Are you ready for this? Are you ready
Yeah,
for this
I'm ready.
PR?
Let's go.
Patrick, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we call this the pick'em battle.
all right.
And basically, what we're gonna do is we'll just you to him, and then next week would be me to him, you to me. Yeah, basically, just think of it like a tennis match each week. So it's gonna go Patrick to me to PR,
Okay.
and then it'll go me to PR, PR to Patrick, or
Yep.
PR to me
Versa.
to Patrick. Hey, we just
keep
bounce
going in the
around.
big old circle.
Yeah, super simps. Okay, Patrick,
I'm not a simp. You're a simp.
Whoa, bro,
I'm just playing.
dude. I have more followers than people I follow.
Touche.
I think that's the exact opposite.
I'm not a simp. I'm married. Anyway.
All right, so here we go. Patrick, start us off. Who you picking? Who you picking? You start the wheel. Throw it like a dart. Whatever you go, that's where we'll start the cycle.
All right, I'll start off with our Sunday night football game. Then I'll take Steelers, Cowboys.
Who you giving it to?
Now I'll give that one to Paul.
Okay. All right. So Paul, you got the Steelers Cowboys game. Great game, dude.
It is a good
So
game.
now I'm picking.
You're picking, and that's going to be.
I'm picking the winner.
You're
Yeah.
picking. Yep, you're picking the winner, right? And
Okay.
there's going to be a scoreboard and everything. There's gonna be a
Steelers
scoreboard and everything.
Cowboys. Sunday night.
Yeah.
Prime time.
Peacock.
On the Peacock. I'm going to go Steelers. Score.
Ooh.
I'm going to go 28-24.
Steelers versus Dallas. We got Steelers winning 28-24. Okay. Who you giving me?
I'm giving you the Bucks and the Falcons.
Ooh. Sneaky game. Okay, so you're giving me the Bucks versus the Falcons.
Basically, who's going to take over first place in the division?
Yeah, I love that. All right, let's go. Bucks versus Falcons. Betting numbers. The Falcons are a 1.5 point favorite with an over/under of 43.5.
Yeah.
Low scoring game. The internet thinks Baker Mayfield will be the key player to watch there. I don't think so at all, actually. I think the Bucks offensive line against the Falcons defense is going to be one of the biggest keys to that game. Can they keep Baker Mayfield off his back? Matthew Judon has been shoveling food in his mouth for shiz. I like the Falcons in this one. Over/under being 43.5. I don't like that. I think this is going to be a good game. We've had way too many low-scoring games in this football scenario. I'm thinking Bucks 31, Falcons 27. Okay. How do you guys feel about that?
I love it.
I like it.
All right. Patrick. Man. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm looking at these cripple fights. I got 2 cripple fights right now. They're real good. Are you feeling a cripple fight?
I'll take a cribble fight. It's fine.
You gonna take a
I'll
cripple
take
fight,
one.
bro? All right,
take
Dolphins, Patriots.
I knew
Dolphins,
it.
Patriots.
I freaking knew it.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be terrible.
I feel bad for any fantasy owner who's got Tyreek Hill right now
Oh,
because
so
it's
bad.
just you've got like the best wide receiver, like
And no quarterback
You got one of the
to
best,
throw him
well,
to.
not the best, but one of the best fantasy football wide receivers, and you're getting no touchdowns from him because
Can't
they're
get the
throwing
ball
a
to
damn
him.
ball. This is this is in Foxborough. Hey, they got the Patriots here, 1-3, Dolphins. Unfortunately,
Now, remember, earlier in the show, I did mention the Dolphins, even though they won a game, have not led for a single second.
The sad thing is the Patriots they've been more competitive. So I'm gonna say the Patriots probably are gonna barely win this game, and it's gonna be ugly. This is gonna be like a 20-13 football game.
Ooh, you giving them 33 total?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Patriots win 20-14. We'll give the Dolphins 2
It had been
touchdowns.
like 19 offensive positions. On one side, the Washington Commanders went 16 straight, not including kneel downs to win a game. 16 straight scoring. Miami had gone like 19 straight offensive possessions without a touchdown, bro.
Do you know
You
that
don't have Miami winning. And the score doesn't matter. So
No,
I'm just double checking.
the Washington Commanders also haven't punted in 2 games.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't think that's happened in the NFL. in
When
a
you throw an
long
interception, that's basically a punt, right?
Well, yeah, but
Deep ball
it was
interception.
forced. It was a
Deep ball
forced punt.
Yeah, deep ball.
It was a flunt.
The
Semantics.
reporter the week prior said, so he hasn't thrown an interception yet. Is that something you planned on? And he's, oh, don't do that to that kid. Come on now. They did it to him.
They do it all the time too. They do it when they ruin a freaking perfect game, or
But he still has the
they talk about it
82%
all
completion
the
rate.
time.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do for Mike.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
We can text him.
Because it doesn't necessarily seem fair, but what we can guarantee is that when Mike isn't here,
We can do a consensus game.
I was just going to say it's whoever's playing the Eagles and he picks the Eagles to win, but they're not a bye
No,
week.
that's too easy. That's too easy.
I think what we should do is we should give them the London game.
Yeah.
Which one's that one? That's the Jets?
Vikings. The Vikings Jets.
Vikings Jets, yeah.
I think I'm good with that.
Honestly, I think this could be a game the Jets could win because
I'm okay with that.
this is in London, and usually it's let down for the good teams.
I say we send that to him and let him pick, and then we just put it down for the record.
Yeah.
So we're all in agreement. Jets Vikings for Mike.
Yeah.
All right. So all right, run them scores one more time.
So Paul has Steelers versus Dallas. 28-24 Steelers. Charles has Bucks versus Falcons. 31-27 Bucks. And then Patrick
20-14.
the Dolphins versus the Pats. He wants 20-14 Patriots.
You said cripple fight, and I'm giving you cripple fight.
It's gonna be an interesting fight.
Hey man, you've fucking. There's 100 things I could say right now, but it would cancel us, so I can't.
That's right.
Oh, no. I'm not who I was a year ago. All right?
No.
I'm a changed man, Mama. I swear.
A year ago, we would all be saving away
We got to remember we're in syndication, so we have to.
for the emergency.
we got ads on our show now. We got to be careful what we say.
Dave, got to be free.
Oh yeah.
Free to face the life that's ahead of me. Well, you guys got to start saying something. I'm going to sing it all.
No, we're good. We're good.
Alrighty.
I like those picks.
I do too. I'm pretty excited about them. For our listeners out there, if I had to guess, he's going to pick the Vikings over the Jets. Probably 24-12, and people start screaming for Robert Sala's job, not realizing their only other option is Nathaniel Hackett.
True.
I think that's weird. So that'll be exciting. Can't wait
That's something.
for that. Yeah. And let's fire Nick Sirianni. All right, who are you going to give the job to? Vic Fangio? The
Kellen
dude
Moore.
went to Philadelphia to be closer to family because he's getting close to being done with the game. He did not go to Philadelphia because he thought Nick Sirianni
give
was
it to
gonna
Kellen
lose his
Moore.
job. We going to give it to Kellen Moore?
Like, can't get any worse. Unless you want to give it to the special teams coach, whoever that is.
Yeah, fuck it. Give it to Jalen Hurts. Make Jalen Hurts the player coach before they give it to Aaron Rodgers.
That would probably upset him very much.
Yeah. Well, anybody got anything else they want to add?
I'm good. I think that we covered a lot tonight.
Yeah, it was a good round table chitty chat on the NFL. Congratulations, though, Jared Goff. It was a hell of a game. Definitely fun to watch. Funny story. Turns out Dan Campbell apparently gave the game ball to somebody else. Did not realize he was 18 for 18 until the press conference. He's probably thinking about that 3rd and 13 play that ended up as a safety for no fucking reason. Thank you to all of our listeners out there. Thank you to Fans First Sports. Big shout out to them. We appreciate you believing in us. Shout out to just really everyone who's been a part of this journey. It's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's just getting better. So that's fantastic. And of course, none of this would be possible without High C. I'm just kidding. None of this would be possible without you, our listeners. So thank you so much. Continue clicking, liking, commenting, telling us how terrible we are, telling us how beautiful our hair is.
Yeah.
The lack thereof.
And I guess we're trying to get into the meta because there's this screen that you can taste things in the meta. So there might be an option soon where you can taste the host's beard. So that might be cool.
Don't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
I've tasted colors in my lifetime.
I'm not joking about the
I guess
meta
I
screen.
joined the
I am
meta.
joking
I
about
joined
our
the meta.
beard being tasted. But yeah, there's apparently a screen you can taste virtual things. Weird.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, me too. There's also a mirror in some museum somewhere in Europe that takes 4 hours for you to take a selfie with. And realistically, you can just put your fucking phone down here and go, geez. But hey, spend your money how you want to, spend your time how you want to. We're not here for that. We're here to thank you for everything you do. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your time. Thank you for just being you. The world continues to be a much better place because of it. And we love you more.